If anybody should tell you that there's no risk in real estate investments, then it's a fallacy. That person is not telling you the whole truth. Because every investment that you see, every business that you see has its own portion of risk. Because in financial management, there are two types of risk. Number one is systematic risk. Number two is unsystematic risk. Systematic risk is the risk that is inherent in the markets. It cannot be avoided. It cannot be mitigated. For instance, inflation affects everything. It is a systematic risk. No one prayed for inflation, but definitely when it comes, it affects, it cuts across, it affects everyone. Then we have the unsystematic risk, which can be mitigated, which can be avoided. So when you say, is real estate investment risky? Then I will tell you it is not risky. Why? Because there's a difference between business risk that I just explained that is categorized into two and something being risky, an investment being risky. For instance, if you are gambling, that is risky. You are throwing a dice. You are hoping that maybe the number you prayed for or you opt for will come up. That's risky because you are banking on luck. There's no calculation involved. There's something we call calculated risk. So when we talk about unsystematic risk or systematic risk, we are working based on calculation. We are not investing blindly. We are doing it based on knowledge, from the perspective of knowledge, based on the research we have made. If, for instance, an envoy is being sent from, let's say, US or Canada to Nigeria just because they want to come and invest, the reason why they will first send the envoy is because they want them to come and do what? Research, market research and development. They will not just come and say, let's just come and invest. So to them, they are evaluating, they are assessing the risk level. So also when it comes to real estate investment, so it's totally different from maybe gambling, just like I said, throwing of dice that is you are purely relying on luck. I hope you are getting me. So every business, every investment has its own portion of risk. But so just like I said, there are two types, systematic and unsystematic. So we want to look at those two in this video to let you know that real estate investment is not risky. When we say risky, it means there's no aspect that you can calculate. You cannot at least assess the situation. You cannot evaluate it. You only hope that it turns out in your favor. That's not real estate. There are parameters, there are indices, there are indicators we look at before we invest. Before investors, smart investors, invest in real estate. So let's look at them one after the other. So for instance, systematic risk in real estate investment that cannot be avoided is the Land Use Act 1978. We are in 2023 and we are still using Land Use Act of 1978, which is not working. A major portion of the Land Use Act 1978 needs to be reviewed. So it's affecting the whole industry. It's affecting everybody. It cannot be avoided because it's the law. There's nothing we can do about it, so it's going to affect you. The policies, the sections in it, they are there. There's nothing anyone can do about it, except it is amended by the legislative house. That's number one. Number two is government policies. When government comes up with policies, what can we do? What can investors do? They cannot do anything. For instance, what is happening in Abuja now, that the current FCT minister is coming up with policies. Who knew that he was going to come up with those policies? He just came up with those policies. Now it's affecting those people who have invested in real estate. So it is systematic. Government policies. Nobody can predict that. And when it comes up, there's nothing you can do. What is changing governance as well affects is a systematic risk. It is inherent because we have change of government. One government believe that, okay, we are going to have a massive presence here. People have gone ahead to invest in that location just because that current governor believed that they wanted to go and invest there. And eventually, what happens? Another government, another regime comes in, and they are not interested in that particular location. They have shifted their focus. So what happens to that particular location? Then the prices that was supposed to go up, that was supposed to skyrocket, begins to nosedive. Even though it doesn't nosedive, because one thing about real estate is it appreciates. But what happens? The appreciation rate that has been projected will no longer be able to be met. You will not be able to meet that projection because of the withdrawal of government presence. So that's number. Inflation, for instance, it affects everyone. If it affects even real estate, you may say how? For instance, the current inflation in Nigeria is over 20%. Just imagine if it were to be around 7, 8, 9%. So which means if I have a property that is appreciating in value, whether I like it or not, inflation is eating part of that appreciation rate. Maybe I should have asked something like maybe 2 million naira. But whether I like it or not, inflation has eaten part. By the time I collect that 2 million naira, the purchasing power has gone down. So even inflation affects real estate and is affecting so it's systematic, it's inherent in the market. It cannot be avoided. Okay, maybe I will stop here, then I will have a part 2. So, and please, in the next video, I'll be talking about the unsystematic risk, the one that can be avoided in the real estate industry. Talking about the Omonile issue, the land frauds. That's what I'll be talking about in part 2. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do and click on the notification bell so that I can be notified whenever we release a new video. So we'll meet in our next video. Kindly give this video a thumbs up if it has helped you. Thank you so much.